Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Looking at the hazards map here on Friday morning, we've got a very wintry looking hazards map. A lot of purple, blue, and pink shading here across the eastern Corn Belt and the Ohio River Valley. We've got winter storm warnings in effect across portions of Iowa and Illinois, winter weather advisories there in the same area, freeze warnings across portions of the Ohio River Valley, frost advisories as well. So we look at the temperature map, we can kind of pick out our storm system. We've got the warm air advection, the moisture coming off the Gulf of Mexico. We've got our cold air wrapping around on the backside here, and that is what is leading to some snow as we get our Friday started. Looking at the satellite picture, here's our departing storm system from about 4 or 5 days ago, still lingering here across the Atlantic Ocean, the frontal boundary with that across the peninsula of Florida. But as we watch the animation, here's the storm system making its way across the Corn Belt right now. The one that's bringing some snow to portions of Iowa, Illinois, and then eventually portions of Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan as we head through the rest of the day. We even got some lightning here with some thunderstorms across portions of Kansas and Missouri, getting into the Ozarks, those beginning to fade out. But as we look at the radar, certainly some heavier precipitation across this region still, moving from central Missouri into central and southern Illinois. And then on the north side of that, we have some snow, which we can see as we take a closer look at the Lincoln, Illinois National Weather Service radar. And again, here it is, kind of along and north of Highway 9, if you're familiar with this area, kind of from the Bloomington area over toward Paxton and Hoopeston in Illinois. And then this is going to spread off to the east. So areas, again, north of this line could see some snow as we head through the rest of the day. Some snow already falling across portions of northern Indiana. South of that line, we could see some sleet mixing in at times right here. I'm recording this video from Champaign, and I think I actually do hear some sleet hitting the window out there right now, which would not be impossible. South of that line, we're talking about liquid rain, a cold liquid rain, so really just a very unpleasant Friday across much of the eastern Corn Belt as the system makes its way through. We can watch it do that with the high-resolution NAM model. We'll just time out the exit of this storm system as we head through the next 24 hours. Looking at things here on Friday morning, sunrise on Friday morning, that snow spreading from northern Missouri, southern Iowa, across northern Illinois, southern Lake Michigan, getting into Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan as we head through the mid-morning hours. And then south of that, of course, the heavier rain showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder. So heading through the morning hours today, getting up to noon on Friday now. Watching the storm system now, the precipitation coming to an end across Iowa and Missouri, beginning to taper off across Illinois as well. The heavier precipitation now moving into Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio as we head through the afternoon. Getting into the evening now, you can see your frontal boundary kind of extending off to the south now. We've got those rain showers stretching from Ohio across the Ohio River, down across southern Indiana into Kentucky and Tennessee, down toward the boot heel of Missouri as we end our Friday, and then heading into a relatively quiet overnight. So as we head into Saturday, we're going to be relatively quiet, but you'll watch the northern plains here for maybe some light rain showers, maybe some snow showers accompanying some of this cooler Arctic air that's spilling into the region. We're then going to be watching the south for our next storm system here that comes out over the back half of the weekend into the early part of next week. This will be Sunday at 7 p.m. now. Not much going on or 7 a.m. I apologize. 7 a.m., so sunrise on Monday now. We're starting to sunrise on Sunday. I'm going to get it right here. 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. This is what we're looking at here. Just maybe some light showers, maybe light flurries across the northern plains. Our bigger storm system is organizing here down toward the south. That's going to bring some heavier rain and thunderstorms through parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Maybe even some rain showers as far north as the eastern Corn Belt, states like Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio on Sunday. But those rain showers across the three states here, Illinois through Ohio, should be relatively light, looking at areas of like Kentucky and Tennessee for some of the heavier rain showers and perhaps some thunderstorms. So a total look at the accumulating snow here as we get this storm system out of here. There you see the strip from the Iowa-Missouri border through northern Illinois, northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and then kind of right around the southern Michigan border here with Indiana and Ohio. This is where we could pick up, 3 to 5 inches of snow certainly, and then across this area where we've got the winter storm warnings, that's what we're talking about, maybe 6 to 9 inches of this heavy wet snow across that region of the Corn Belt. So again, a very wintry April 18th here, heading into the weekend. It's April 17th, I apologize, but 18th tomorrow and then 19th on Sunday. Regardless, a very wintry mid-April that we're experiencing here across much of the Corn Belt. In addition to a relatively unpleasant precipitation and temperatures across the eastern Corn Belt, we'll have to talk about some wind gusts here as we head through the weekend as well. First with this storm system making its way through on the south side is where we got the stronger winds bringing in the warmth and the moisture to the system. So across portions of Indiana and Ohio, Kentucky and Tennessee, where we're seeing the rain showers, looking like a cold and blustery rainy Friday across that region. We'll start to tame the winds down just a bit as we head through Friday night, getting into early Saturday, but as the system makes its way off across the north, we'll see those winds gusting once again 30 to 40 miles per hour across portions of Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, spreading into the eastern Corn Belt here of Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan as we head through Saturday night into Sunday morning. So some periods of blustery winds here as we head through the weekend. Really just as we talk about the eastern Corn Belt, it's just not going to be a real pleasant weekend out there between the temperatures, the wintry precipitation, the rain, and the blustery conditions. So as we look at the jet stream, this is going to be the next player that comes in as we head into the weekend. Here's our little jet wave right now, the jet maximum with the strong jet stream winds there at 500 millibars. We're going to watch this wave come swinging in here across the south as we head into Sunday. That's the one that brings the rain showers to primarily Kentucky and Tennessee, but perhaps a little bit further north there, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, perhaps picking up on some of that precipitation. Here it is, the wave well down to the south across the Gulf Coast, so that's why the impacts are minimal as you head further to the north, certainly north of the Ohio River. And then as we head through getting into Monday, Tuesday, this is our next system here coming in toward the end of next week. You can already see it rotating around the southern Rockies through the Four Corners region, now ejecting across the southern plains as we get into, this is Wednesday, April 22nd. And then this system would bring another chance for rain showers, perhaps some severe weather to portions of the south, the southeast, getting into maybe the mid-south and the Ohio River Valley. We'll have to watch the track of this one as we get into Thursday and into Friday. So what does that look like with moisture, the response at the surface? Well, as we get started here, let me go ahead and bring it back to today. We're watching our first storm system tracking through the region. So Gulf moisture kind of coming up and following this storm system, cooler, drier air coming in on the backside as we look at things on Friday. We'll take it into Sunday. We're going to watch this first front make its way through Saturday, keeping things cool and dry across the Corn Belt. As we head into Saturday evening now, you're seeing the response. You're seeing the southerly flow once again being drawn northward into the Midwest, into the central U.S. This is 10 a.m. on Sunday now, heading into midday Sunday. And this is when we can expect to see those rain showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, perhaps some severe weather across the south here as we head through the day on Sunday. That would include you in Kentucky and Tennessee. We'll need to be alert for the chance for some severe weather, including the potential for a couple of tornadoes as we head through the day on Sunday. Cool, dry air comes in on the backside. That shuts things down once again across the Corn Belt, but then we know that we've got another midweek storm system coming. So as we get into Wednesday now, starting to once again see that moisture drawn northward from the Gulf of Mexico. This one could take a further north track. Right now watching areas from the Gulf of Mexico all the way into Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio for the chance for some showers and storms as we get to the Thursday and Friday time frame. And then once again, going to be watching for the chance for some severe weather approximately through this corridor here. Again, the same one that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks across the Dixieland here, the south into the Ohio River Valley. So let's look at the precipitation type forecast then, putting all of this together, bringing it back quickly, watching this storm system exit the region here as we go through Friday and Saturday, getting a mostly quiet Saturday across the Corn Belt. Sunday's when we start to turn our attention across the south. Here comes sunrise on Sunday morning. Getting into midday Sunday now, Sunday afternoon. This is when we're talking about the potential for severe weather out ahead of this area of low pressure across Kentucky and Tennessee, south across the Gulf Coast states. This would be Sunday night now. These storms are getting to race off to the east, exiting Kentucky and Tennessee as we head into Monday morning. We'll be once again quietish as we get the week started. We've got an area of low pressure well off to the north, maybe bringing some light snow or light rain showers across the far north Great Lakes as we head through Monday night into Tuesday. But by and large, we start watching the southern plains for our next storm system to reload as we head into the later part of the week. This would be Wednesday, and now heading into Thursday, and now heading into Friday. Maybe another system coming in on the backside here as we get into Friday and Saturday that we'll have to talk about across this region, but primarily focused on the southern wave here as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. This again bringing that chance for rain showers and maybe some severe weather across this corridor. So it's a Sunday-Monday system and a Wednesday-Thursday system. We'll be talking about bringing this chance for some heavier precipitation once again across the Mid-South, the Ohio River Valley, and maybe portions of the Central Plains into the Eastern Corn Belt, but trailing off as you head north. The best chance for heavier rain going to be across Kentucky and Tennessee as we talk about the Corn Belt. Decent chance for rain showers, maybe a few thunderstorms here from Kansas into Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. And then as we talk about the Canadian Prairie into the Northern Plains, really looking like a dry, mostly dry next 7 days or so across this region. Obviously not going to be completely bone dry, but a lot of places missing out on that precipitation as we talk about the next week. So here's your precipitation forecast over the next week in terms of an anomaly, departure from average. And once again, focusing on the south for the excess precipitation, and then looking at a relatively dry week across the northern plains and much of the Corn Belt. A dry but cool week. We are going to see temperatures moderating across the region, but still holding on to a cooler bias as we head through the next 5 to 7 days. This map here showing the forecast high temperatures for the day on Friday in terms of the numbers, but then the colors you're seeing there is the departure from average. So where you see this pink shading across portions of Nebraska, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, across a big chunk of the central and eastern Corn Belt, that's where we're talking about temperatures 25 to 35 degrees cooler than average, cooler than they should be this time of year, which should be in the mid-60s to near 70 degrees. So here's your high temperatures for Friday. Saturday, we start moderating some. Sunday, still holding onto that cooler bias. Temperatures in the 50s across the Corn Belt. 60s begin to pop in on Monday and Tuesday. We start to see 70s across the central and northern plains. As we look at those overnight low temperatures, again, dropping well below freezing, where we've got those freeze warnings in place, frost advisories as we head through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Your Sunday morning lows moderating some across the central and western regions. Here's your morning temperatures on Monday. And then, again, as we head into Tuesday, starting to moderate back to where we should be this time of year. As always, we'll be back to talk with you on Monday morning.